to the conference this morning, and looking forward to tonight. Taylor will be preaching for us, and just excited about what God's going to do in us and through us. Amen. And let's go, Lord, in prayer and ask God to meet with us. And I'll give you a couple of announcements. We'll do some more singing. And Brother Newman, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Heavenly Father,
I want to say thank you to our folks who helped with all the food today. It's a blessing, and very, very good. Not only good, but I appreciate all the work and getting everything up and down the stairs, and you giving of your time to be a help to the preachers and be a blessing to them. And preachers and your families, tonight after church, we will serve you supper upstairs again. So we'll do the same thing tonight when church is over. We'll fellowship for a few minutes and give them time to get everything ready to go. It won't take quite as long tonight, but we'll get everything good to go. We'll say the blessing and let you go upstairs and feast. Starting tomorrow night, we'll be feeding the teenagers along with the preachers and their families, and we'll give you more instructions about that tomorrow. But it's going to be a great week. Tonight, Brother Taylor will be preaching for us, and God used him tremendously. We'll say a few things about that in a little bit, but tomorrow night, I'm excited. 5:30 is a teen service, but you don't want to miss the teen services this week. Brother Bob Gregg Jr. will be preaching, or second or third, whatever they call him, praise God. And he's one of my favorite preachers in America today. And many of our young people have heard him. He's preached youth camp for us a few times, and we've heard him at youth conferences. And he did a tremendous job last year when he preached on the day that Lloyd Moore was here. And but he's got God on his life, and that's what I like to see in a preacher, that they have God on them. Amen. And if you can make it at 5:30, be here. Adults, it'll help you. I promise you that. And then Brother Bob Smith will be preaching, and God has used him in a tremendous way. And then Brother Tony Hudson will close it out tomorrow night. And that's three very, very good men of God that have God on their life, and God has used them in a tremendous way all over the country. I would tell you, if you can just plead with your family or anybody to get them here, get them under the preaching. I don't say this trying to be super humble or anything, but these are men of God that I listen to often. I listen to a lot of preaching, and I tell you, I listen a lot. These are a few of the only men that are alive that I listen to. Let me put it that way. And because they haven't changed, and I don't feel like they're going to change, but they've got a touch of God in their life. And we have a few of those here this week that are preaching for us. And I encourage you to be here and invite somebody to come be a part of the service. And just excited about what God's going to do this week. And we're going to go ahead and sing another song. And then on the last verse of this song, the choir will come up and get ready to sing for us. And then we'll go on from there.
All righty, take your old past song book, turn to number 21, stand and sing with us, I Never Shall Forget the Day. Hymn number 21 in your old past song book. Long years ago,
it's too high for you, just sing louder, not softer. We're going to sing that last verse and chorus, and just let her rip for the name of Jesus. Amen.
All right, on that last. Oh, sinner, come.
When I see your glory waving in the schoolyard, the children laugh and play and learn what's right. I remember those who fought to forge our freedom, and those who rather died and lose this fight. But today it seems we take it all for granted, and it's easier to blame and criticize. Oh, but I for one will stand and pray for healing in our land today. I still believe that freedom's worth the price. I still believe we're the last hope of liberty. I still believe in the promise of the land I love, and I'm not ashamed to say I pledge allegiance still today. I still believe in America. When I think about the future of this nation, I wonder if that torch will still burn bright. But if each new generation will remember and defend her honor then with all their might. For I believe that the faith of our fathers is the cornerstone that made our nation great. And we will stand for centuries if we remain upon our knees. I still believe by faith it's not too late. I still believe we're the last hope of liberty. I still believe in the promise of the land I love, and I'm not ashamed to say I pledge allegiance still today. I still believe in America.
GSA hymn book. If you registered, you got a GSA book, and open in the back of that, there's some songs back there. It's hymn 296, No Not One. Stand and sing with us. Choir, come down on the second. Ushers, come up on the last. Hymn 296.
Jesus knows all about our
come, and I think his wife's coming with him, and his son, no son. He's going to come sing 2 songs for us. You ready to sing 2, brother? I think 2 would be good. You ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
And then after he gets through singing, Brother Rita Taylor is going to come preach for us, and Brother Taylor has a heart for revival in America. Amen. And I just believe this way. I believe that we can still have revival in America. Amen. And I know a lot of preachers don't think that anymore, but I have a Bible that I read through a few times a year, and I read through the Old Testament. You know what I found out in the Old Testament? People were wicked. They were very wicked. And by the way, they were no more wicked today than they were then. We think, because I'm telling you, it's wicked in America. It is. Amen, preacher. You preachers, listen to me. I understand it's wicked in America. But you know that this battle that we have with sodomy and the transgender movement, it's nothing new. It started in the Old Testament. It's not new, okay? The problem is not, the world has always been exceedingly sinful. Always. It's always been that way. Man, God, the problem's not the world, it's us. Well, my goal is for us to get hungry for God this week. We're hungry for a lot of things in America today. Sports. Hello. We're hungry for entertainment. What we need to do as a Christian, we need to get hungry for God. Now, I'm not a doomsday. I know we believe we're living in the last days. I get it. But God can still send revival in the last days. And this whole business that it ain't over till Jesus comes. Amen? It's not over till Jesus comes. And you and I need to quit using the world as an excuse, listen, for us not doing anything for God. We need to get with God, get God on us, and then go out and try to win people to Jesus. The problem's not the world, it's us. God save America. You know what it's about? It's about getting Christians with a hunger and a thirst for God that will get so close to God. Hey, listen, when you get close to Him and get God on you, you can't help but talk about Him. We talk about the things we love, don't we? What we need to do is decide to fall in love with Him again. Prayers this week will do that for us. And Brother Taylor's been preaching revival, preaching for revival in America for many years now. I'm excited about what God's given him for us tonight. They're going to sing a couple of songs, and then Brother Taylor, you come preach for us.
Say a word or two just so the sound guy can hear me and go, oh no, what am I going to do with this guy? That's great. Amen to the sound guy that gets all the harassment. Well, anyway, praise the Lord. Well, you know what our answer for America is? The Lord Jesus said, amen. That's it. We like to sing about him. So this is more about him. Who was that babe born in Bethlehem? They laid him in a manger. There was no room in the inn. He was born of a virgin. He was God's only son. The angels shouted in the night that Christ had come. Who was that man? Man of Galilee, made the lame to walk, and he caused the blind to see. He cleansed the spotted all that and more in my life too. Well, this thing's real hot. That might be what's humming so bad. This one right here. The one, the one in front of my face. Yeah, that one. Yeah, all right. So if all the people that give it a chance to look at this thing, if all the people that started in the ministry finished, you know, I think we'd be okay on that.
All right.
A lot of people aren't finishing very well. And aren't finishing very strong. And I don't want that to be my testimony. Amen. I want to not just start, but I want to finish well. Amen. That's what I want to do. There will come a day, I know without a doubt, around the throne the saints will bow and lay down every crown. How glorious that moment, to see Him face to face, to hear Him say, well done, my child, you finished your race. But for now the sun's still rising, there's work to still be done, while we're waiting for the promise of what is yet to come. Finish well. Every day that we are living, finish well. For the glory of His name, finish strong. Until the Savior finally calls us home. Giving everything we have, finish well. There's no truth in saying we've seen our better days. There are days to be courageous, full of the faith. So wherever He may lead us, whatever it may cost, let the church rise and lift the banner of the cross. Finish well. Every day that we are living, finish well. For the glory of His name, finish strong. Until the Savior finally calls us home. Giving everything we have, finish well. Every day that we are living, finish well. For the glory of His name, finish strong. Until the Savior finally calls us home. Giving everything we have, finish well. Finish well. Finish
All right. Amen. That was good, wasn't it? Amen. Praise the Lord. God is good. In the land of the giants here, but we're the big man in the big man. Well, God bless you folks. Thank you for having this place for us. Thank you for having this conference. You're a wonderful church. Tremendous church. I trust your pastor. You know, when I ask somebody to have or host one of these conferences, it's because I watched them. It's because I trust them. And like, I'm a hunter, and like putting those binoculars on and looking and checking out that buck in the field. That's what I do. And your pastor is trustworthy. Trustworthy with the book, trustworthy with Baptist, trustworthy with doctrine. He's that kind of man. And thank God for it. That's why we're here in Alabama. And that's why this conference is being attended. And I can't wait to hear the great preaching that's on the schedule.
what preaching we've had already. I tell you, hey, Jeremy, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for that wonderful Sunday school. Man, you got a lot of Sunday school this morning. It was good. Brother Davis, I'm telling you, we're honored to have you. We're just humbled to have you. Thank you for being here. Well, that's somebody right there. And I just appreciate him so much, and I've been so impressed with him and the wife. Appreciate him. And then words, I don't have enough words to say thanks to the folks of our church and our ministry that are here from West Virginia. I want you to stand one more time, let the folks get a good looking bunch of hillbillies here, okay? Folks from West Virginia that came with us, these are the people I worked with day after day after day. And I want you to give them a good hand. My pastor, William Sanders, he is my pastor. I love him. Thank God for him. Boy, he's a wonderful pastor. He's on fire like your pastor is. I mean, our people love him, and he loves us. We thank God for him. Appreciate him so much for being here with us. It is a blessing. It's an honor and a blessing. And then I have become, and I am now the adopted brother of Brother Larry and Miss Penny Jones. They have taken care of me, thanks to your pastor. He has let me be a part of them during the hunt season now for many, many years. And then he's keeping us this time. This is the first time my wife's been here with us. A lot of people didn't think I was telling the truth when I was married. So she and Miss Penny been hitting it off and having a good time. And she got to see her sister from Mississippi today. So it's been a good trip for us. A really, really good trip for us. And I'm thankful for this wonderful privilege, wonderful opportunity. And thank the Lord for all that you're doing. Thank you for being here, all of you. God bless you. The privilege and the honor. And then I just want to apologize ahead of time for, when you get my age, you'll say anything, do anything. So you heard about the little lady that walked out of Walmart. She saw 4 men trying to get in their car. So she pulled a gun. I said, I've got a gun. I know how to use it. Man, they split out of there and they ran as far as they could, as quick as they could. And she got in the car and it didn't look anything like hers. Putting cars down. So she went to the police right away and said, I'm so sorry what I did, and I confessed what I've done. And she looked down the counter and there were 4 men trying to turn her in. They didn't arrest her, but that's kind of like me. I've come to the point now where I've got a license to do what I'm doing. Amen. Amen. It's a joy to be here. God bless you. Stand with me, please. I'm going to preach on the theme of the conference, Esther 4:14. Esther 4:14. I'm going to take these looking glasses off. I've got a swollen retina and a swollen macula, so I have to have spectacles when I read. And so, Esther 4:14. If you're happy here tonight, would you say amen? Amen. When I'm looking at you now, you're just one big bird, so you can stick your tongue out at me, anything you want to do. I don't even know if you're mad at me. After a minute, I'll put them looking glasses on, see if you still got a good smile on your face. Look what it says. The Bible said, for if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Circle the 2 words, who knows. I want to preach tonight on who knows. Who knows? Let's bow our heads, please. Father, bless this night. Bless this effort of this conference. Such a revival endeavor. As the pastor said, so many people have given up on this wonderful country of ours. We love America. We're thankful for the men that have given a full measure for our freedom. And I pray, Lord, that you help us now, Lord, to be a church like this church. Lord, to be on fire like these people in this church. And Lord, help us now to love you better, serve you better. Forgive us of our sin, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness to us. Bless this message. I pray for an unusual endowment of your spirit power tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. You can be seated. Do I see a good friend over there? Yes, I do. On the back row? From Pennsylvania? Yeah, we got to get him up and sing. We gotta get him. He came to the last night, my papa did. Amen. Well, God bless you tonight. Esther 7:9, you can look at it. The Bible said that the king said, hang him thereon. Esther 7:10, the Bible said, so they hanged Haman on the gallows that was prepared for Mordecai. Then the king's wrath pacified. Haman became the most offensive man in Hebrew history. He was the prime minister of Persia, and everybody was required to bow down before him in honor of his title, in honor of his office. But one Hebrew named Mordecai, he wouldn't bow his head. He wouldn't take off his hat. He felt no respect, and so he kept his chin up. Amen. I think every Baptist ought to keep your chin up. Yeah. Don't listen to these liberals. Not 1 ounce of what they have to say. Don't bow to the liberals. Keep your chin up. Mordecai kept his chin up. He got the king, Haman did, to sign the decree to massacre all of Israel. This is what the pastor is talking about. Days are evil all the time, all through the Bible, even today. If people had their way today, they'd do away with your Bible. If they had their way today, they'd do away with church. But we're here, we're still standing. Amen. It's our day, it's our time. And who knoweth that we are come to the king for such a time? One sleepless night, the king's secretary read him a few passages of Persian history. And the book read that the conspiracy which Mordecai had once saved the king's life from, he'd never received a reward for doing so. He also heard of Haman's plot and ordered him to get the finest horse and saddle, and then to hold the stirrup of Mordecai, and to get him on that horse and lead him through the town, through the street. What a spectacle. What a comedy. Haman is walking and holding a prancing stallion with the man he wanted to hang sitting on the saddle. Mordecai bends his neck finally, only to look down at Haman for the first time. Degraded and no pity, Haman faces the gallows that he built. He built it very high, 75 foot tall. He built this gallows, and he walked the scaffold side by side. But they hung Haman. They hung Haman in the gallows that was prepared for Mordecai. Mordecai took the glitter from the gold and the richness from the purple, the speed from the chariot. He took vanity and revenge away. His silence was louder than the trumpets. Rather than sin against his religion, he wouldn't bow his chin 1/2 inch. He kept his chin up. Don't mix faith with a few errors. Don't be a bended, bowing Christian. Be an unbended Christian of character. He wouldn't bend an inch. He wouldn't compromise. The Bible said pride would go before destruction, the Holy Spirit before a fall. You can be happy in rags. Did you know that? You can be happier than a banker in worldly riches and worldly treasures if you've got Christ on your side, if you're honoring the Lord. If Mordecai had encouraged, he was the one that encouraged Esther. She feared death. But Mordecai said, it's your time. Listen to what I'm about to say. It's your time. And I'm here to tell you tonight, it's our time. It's our generation. Our forefathers gave everything they had that we could be here tonight. It's our time. It's our time to hold the stand. It's our time to be truthful and write about the Word of God. It's our time to build the churches of today. I mean, in the days of yesteryear, the greatest and biggest churches, the largest churches in every town, were independent, fundamental, Bible-believing Baptist churches. We've let the liberals talk us out of a blessing. We've let the liberals degrade us down to a laughing stock. I'm here to tell you, my friend, God's not dead. This Bible is still true. God's Word is still alive. We just need a generation who will say and look fear right in the face and say, I've had enough. My people have suffered enough. Our life has been degraded enough. I'm I'm proud to be saved. I'm proud to be a Baptist. I'm a Baptist with a capital B. And you can take your religion of fear and religion of no faith and you compromise and take it back to hell where it came from. I want to serve the Lord. I want to be right with God. I want to be a help for my country. I love this country. And there's only one way this country will get help. It's God save America. It won't come through our hands. It'll come through Him. Or it's not coming at all. I believe when revival comes, it's coming through God's man and the local church, or it's not coming at all. We got to do God's way, just what God told us to do. And I want to say, my friend, it's our appointed work. Mordecai said, it's your time. She said after she heard what he had to say, if I perish, I perish. This man right here has challenged many young men to go into war. He tells them that's what you signed up for. You signed up to keep liberty alive. Freedom free. Whether you go out in the body bag or whether you walk out proud that the war is over. We're going to war today. Amen. We're going to fight for our country today. And I'll be jealous until God's people, Christians, decide we're going to fight for the faith of God like we would our own patriotism in this country. Oh, listen to me. I'm glad this year, in April of next year, I'll be 45 years in evangelism. I'm a gypsy. I'm a gypsy. I hardly ever sleep in my own bed. I'm the world's worst church member. But you know why I go? I was asked today by my own brother-in-law. He said, how long are you going to do this? You need to quit doing this. I said, well, I never thought so. I don't think about retirement. I think about retread. Amen. Amen. Now look, if you can go to church till you die, why can't you serve God till you die? Why can't you preach till you die? Why can't you be faithful till you die? If we're in this battle together, my friend, we need to be all in all. We need to be in all the way. Church needs to be converting the world, not the world converting the church. The work is right for us. The pulpit is right for us. This area is right for us. The church is right for us. Quit letting the devil talk you out of the blessing. Let's start loving church again. Let's start loving this Bible again. Let's start loving each other again. Let's get back in this thing for God, for good, and for life. Let's do what God tells us to do. We listen to all these lies of the world. I'm so tired of Baptists who quit. Anybody can quit. Why don't you get in the saddle again? Why don't you say, I'm going to serve God? And hey, listen, we ought to be strong in the Lord. We have something to live for. We ought to be faithful. Keep preaching. Keep praying. Keep praising. Amen. Looking back, we've all failed, but it doesn't mean we have to quit. That's right. Amen. People ask me, you ever want to quit? Yeah, every Monday I want to quit. But you just got to get up. You got to go again. I mean, I can't run like I used to run. I can't jump like I used to jump. Can't even walk like I used to walk. But if I ever quit walking, I'll start crawling. But we're going to serve God. We're going to serve God. There are all kinds of excuses. Anybody can give an excuse not to serve the Lord. But God has a plan for your life. Listen carefully. How many teenagers do we have here tonight? Raise your hand. Wave about teenagers. I want you to listen carefully. Here to the rest of the message. To the finish. And give me your undivided attention. Larry, quit lying. Welcome to what you have become. I hope you like what you are. Because you chose to live this way. I hope you like what you're becoming. Because you chose this lifestyle. It is a choice to do what you're doing right now. Right. It's a choice to come on Sunday night. Yeah. It's a choice to be here on Sunday morning. It's a choice to carry a Bible. Yeah. It's a choice to have a godly home. I said it's a choice. Right. If all you do is follow. I quit training followers a long time ago. They're too finicky. Yeah. I train leaders. Amen. Leaders. Because you can give a leader a job and he'll finish it. Right. The follower sit there and think about it for 2 weeks. Yeah. Say amen, my friend. Amen. You need to grow one step further in your life. You're led to lead. Yeah. Amen. You're taught to teach. These preachers that are too selfish to let somebody go. I thought we were training people to serve the Lord. Amen. I see Brother Fever here tonight. He's a blessing of my heart. He got enough courage to go full time for the Lord. There ought to be a whole lot of people get enough courage to go full time for the Lord. You can do it.
Yeah.
With God's help, you can do it. All of these folks that stood a while ago, they're in full-time service. They live to graduate to serve the Lord full-time in their life. What are you waiting on? Like he said this morning, who you listening to? Who you getting your counsel from? What's motivating you? Who knoweth that thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? She foiled all the designs of a wicked Haman. Foiled him. He was going to kill every Jew, every Israelite. She was scared. Scared for the judgment upon her life. She was a Jewish queen married to a virgin king. She was in the same boat that the nation was. She had to come to the reality that her life was in jeopardy as well. But she listened to Mordecai tell her the truth. And that's what we're not doing today. We're not listening to truth. We're not listening to somebody trying to tell us the right stuff. Like he said this morning, you get your counsel off the radio or somewhere else. You ought to get your inspiration right here from these chairs in your church. You ought to glean from what the preacher said. Well, I can watch television. I've heard that all my life. You can't get on television what you get from that man of God. Let me ask you a question. Does the Lord keep you so that you can practice self-indulgence? You can be replaced, you know.
That's right.
Or does the Lord keep us so that we have our talents for Him? I'm not a preacher's kid, but I grew up in a home of a boilermaker. I'm a laborer's kid. But my daddy went to church every Sunday. I played a lot of football. I got trophies. I could fill half this platform with trophies. But a piece of plastic is not going to mean anything when you see the Lord God. My daddy, when it was come time for revival time, he'd go to the practice field, off the game field. He'd put me in the car. My coach had got some man. We had a coach called Coach Gormley. I called him Coach Grumpy. He got some that he chewed tobacco. I come home, my practice suits, and my mama said, "What's all over your practice suit?" I said, "Oh, it's just Coach Gormley. He's mad at me." But I didn't want to sit on the sideline. And I was on the starting squad. Because I wasn't going to be a bench setter. And I would say to all of us, if we put as half as much effort for the Lord as what we do for the world, we'd do something for the Lord. We'd do something for the Lord. Use your talents for Him. You're a key to a lock that nothing else will fit. You're a key to a lock of opportunity that no one can fulfill but you. You can do things I'll never be able to do. I've given most of my life to serve the Lord. My parents. My daddy was on the same bus route almost 50 years. Same bus route. My mother taught a 2- and 3-year-old class almost 50 years. Maybe you're just getting started, but stay with it. Stay with it. My daddy had Parkinson's disease, and it's arrested his tongue. He can't talk much. My mother is his interpreter. But guess what happens every time the doors are open? They're in church. Somebody took a picture of my home church from the back of the auditorium, all the back of the heads of the Baptists. Guess who was in that picture? Mom and Dad's head. Used to be a barrel-chested, full of hair. Now it's blonde, it's bald and shiny. But that was my daddy. He's in church. You know where he's at tonight? He's in church. He's in church. And that's why a Boilermaker's son is in the ministry tonight. God can use anybody. God can use anybody. My pastor's mother is deaf, but he's a preacher from a deaf home. Amen.
Amen.
Your pastor had a broken home, but he's in the ministry.
Amen.
Amen. Brother Davis wasn't always a man of accolade. Came from the streets of Houston in the hood. Look what God's done in it. I'm here to tell you, my friend, God can take anybody in this place. I said anybody. I said anybody. God can take you and use your one talent for God and make you prosperous for Him. Make you do something glorious for Him. God has made us to work with each other. And God has given you, maybe just like the message, maybe the scripture tonight. Who knows that you weren't come to a little kingdom of your own tonight for such a time as this. For such a time as this. Let me give you 2 points tonight. You still with me? Say amen. Number one, no one knows their possibility. You don't. You don't know what God can do with you until you give it all. Until you surrender all. I'm not saying everybody has to be a preacher, a missionary, evangelist, or a teacher. But everybody can love God. And everybody can witness, as we heard about this morning. And everybody can read your Bible, open your mouth for Christ. Everybody can be faithful to the Lord. Everybody. You don't know your possibilities. George Truett got saved at an early age, called to preach at an early age, ordained at 17 years of age. Just a country boy. He taught a public school in Texas. Went from there to Baylor University, graduated from Baylor University. God called him to preach, and they asked him to preach at the Georgia Baptist Convention. Thousands of people there. And after they heard him, the man that introduced him got up and said, "This man, gentleman, speaks like Spurgeon." Went too long, they called him to be pastor of the First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas. He pastored there 47 years. He went from being a country boy in a town in Texas nobody knows about, and he pastored for 47 years. I'm telling you, God can do that to anybody. God can use anybody. Where are the George Truetts today? Where are the Pastor David Webbs today? Where are they? I live for that. People who work with us know that every week of our life we go after full-time service for Christ. You know why? Because you don't need to seek a job before you seek God's will. Amen. You don't need to seek a salary before you ask God what He wants you to do in your life. God ought to come first. The preeminence ought to be with the Lord Jesus. I know, I hear preachers all the time that don't tell my people that. I want my people to go get a job, be respectable, have some character. But how much more respectable can it be unless you've asked God first? Let me ask you a question. If God wanted anybody in this auditorium to cross the foreign fields and the oceans to get to the foreign fields to be a missionary, would you go? I'm not saying anybody has to go. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing? What about Bible colleges, teenagers? I'm not saying anybody here is called to Bible college. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing? If you don't watch out, somebody will wave a paycheck in front of you before you have your first year of Bible college. And you'll be gone and you'll be out of God's will. I can tell you about bus yard graveyards all over the country that people used to run buses and they don't anymore. I could take you to houses in cities all over this country where I preach. This conference has been from California to New York. It's been from Florida all the way to Wisconsin. This conference in 43 years has been everywhere. But I could take you to the front yards and show you spiritual graveyards in the front yards of Baptist homes of people who used to serve God. But they let something glitter more than God. Something get in the way more than God. Let me give you my last point tonight. You still with me? Stay. No one knows their possibilities. Look, if you'd have told me 44 years ago, the son of a Boilermaker would be standing here tonight in South Alabama, preaching to a bunch of wonderful people, if you'd have told me that 44 years ago, I'd have laughed. I'd have laughed. 44 years ago, God called me to preach. And 44 years ago, I had my first tent revival. Guess what? We've had tent revivals ever since. We're still going. Still going. My second point is this: no one knows the possibilities. Number two, no one knows what it will take. You better count the cost for serving the Lord. It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd have more people in church than they have in football stadiums. But it's not easy. It's not easy to be ridiculed, is it? It's not easy to be spit upon, is it? It's not easy for people to tell you it's not worth it. When I first surrendered, I thought everybody would get on the bandwagon and help me. You better serve the Lord even if nobody comes with you. That's right. I've had people say, you dream out loud. That's okay, I'm still dreaming. Amen. What are you doing today? I've had people say, well, you can't do that. I said, I'm not going to. God's going to do that. I've had people say, well, you can't pay the bills that way. I said, I don't pay the bills. God pays the bills. I said, God pays the bills. But I do tell my secretary when they come to the office, growl at them the first 15 minutes before you give them a check. Hard money to come by. Do whatever it takes. I said, do whatever it takes. Somebody said it this way: load your cannon with everything that's in your hand that you can find. Ram it with plenty of power and apply the fire. And when you have nothing else to hurl at the enemy, place yourself in the barrel. Amen. Give yourself. Give yourself. Why is it that we, my point is this: no one knows what it will take. You know why? Because it's a time of emergency. We're in as much emergency now as Esther was back in those days. It's time for an emergency. People still need to be saved. People still need to serve the Lord. People still need to separate themselves. And then it's a time for opportunity. A time of emergency. A time of opportunity. Esther's possibility was that she was a queen. Nobody else had that power. She was a queen, and she was married and had the influence of a king. And everybody was going to be slaughtered. That was her own religion. She said, if I perish, I perish. But she didn't do that until she listened to somebody say, who knows? If you don't do it now, nobody has the power to do it like you do. This is your chance. Guess what? God worked it out. She didn't even have to. God worked it out to where the king of Persia read the history book of Persia and found out that Mordecai had saved his life and never was rewarded. Then she told the plot of wicked hand. You know, God can help you in every matter of your life. God can help you out of every fix you're in. God can take any situation you've got and make it right. It's also a time of responsibility. I like what Brother David said this morning. Just do your job. Be responsible. Be faithful. Do your job. There ought to be some volunteers. Why let the pastor do everything? Why let his family do everything? You know why preachers' families get discouraged? Because they do everything. We watch them. We watch them. They're slaving all the time, and we just watch them. You ought to be so busy yourself, you spread like magic. People ask me all the time, what do you do when you're home? I said, oh, nothing. It's just hard to explain what we do. Hard to explain all the things we're supposed to do right there. Hey, guess what? Those people were responsible for 64 people getting saved in our camp last year. Many of them are responsible for 62 more in the temple line. Amen. But they decided we're going to start doing something for the Lord. That may be with a hammer and a nail, but you can do it for Christ. You can do it for the Lord. It's a time of responsibility. Only God can fulfill His will in your life. If you will, please, let me close with these scriptures here, and I'll close with one illustration after this. Go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11. This is a very popular scripture. You think you got it bad? You think you got it tough? Listen to what the Apostle Paul had to live through. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Are you getting there? Say amen. Amen. I like to hear those King James pages turn. 2 Corinthians 11. Look, please, in verse 23. Labors more abundant. Find that in your Bible. Stripes more above measure. Imprisonments more frequent. Death also. Verse 24. Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, say 139 stripes 5 times. The reason why they wouldn't do 40 is because they would kill a man. But they almost killed him 5 times. I wonder if we'd all say, well, amen, glory to God. I get to go to church today. If you knew you're going to be slashed in the back 39 or 39 times. Verse 25. Thrice I was beaten with rod. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and day was I been in the deep, and journeyings often, perils of water, perils of robbers, and perils of my own countrymen, and perils of the heathen, and perils of the city, and perils of the wilderness, perils of the sea, perils of false brethren, and weariness, and painfulness, and watching often, and hunger and thirst, fasting often, cold and naked, and hey, you and I've got it pretty good and pretty easy. I don't know anybody in my lifetime that's had to suffer that way, serving the Lord. I just don't know about me. We've all got it pretty good. Meaning, God has made it pretty easy for us to serve Him. It is favorable to serve the Lord. You just quit looking for glory. You get in line. Young people used to get in line to go to Bible college. Now they're begging people to get to college. When I went to Bible college, there were long lines. Long lines. Now they're few and far between. We're not putting out full-time service anymore because we don't have the volunteers. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the technology right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all this stuff you're watching all the time. I don't know what's causing us not to serve the Lord. But I'm glad we're here this week. Because maybe, just maybe, something will make sense. Close your Bibles with this way. You ever heard of Gypsy Simon Smith? He was born into a family of gypsies. He didn't take on the lifestyle. He was a full-fledged gypsy. His brothers and sisters. He lived in a wagon train of gypsies. That was his place of sleep. He said the scariest day of his life is when they went to London. And they had whittled with wood clothespins, sacks of clothespins. And they were trying to sell enough of them so they could have enough for Thanksgiving to buy Thanksgiving turkey. And enough to buy a Christmas present for the smallest one of the family, the little girl. And he said the scariest day of my life is when I was separated from my family. We were selling those clothespins, and the London streets were full of hundreds and hundreds of people. And I got separated. I couldn't find my family. And I sat in the street and I began to cry out loud. And an authority came up and sat beside me and said, "What's wrong, son?" He said, "Well, I'm separated from my family." He said, "Well, let me help you." He said, "What's your address?" And he cried. He said, "I don't have an address. I live in the Sherwood Forest." It's a true story. We're a family of gypsies. When we leave London, we'll go into the woods, and that's where we stay. We don't have an address. So he stood on the side of the road, screaming names of his family, until one wonderful moment when somebody in his family said, "Here we are." He said the saddest day of his life, now stay with me, I'm getting somewhere. He said the saddest day of his life was when they were in that caravan of wagons. And they'd raised enough money to have this meal of Thanksgiving. Get the book. It's called Short Stories of Gypsy Simon Smith. I prefaced the book. And he said that he was sitting there, they were going to have this meal, and they had this present for the little sister. It was a little doll. And she sat on the wagon wheel. The moorings of that wagon and let loose. Began to roll. True story. The wagon wheel rolled over her little body. She was lifeless. All the family gathered together around that little body. And they wept and they cried. And they buried her. She was gone. Gypsy Simon Smith bowed his head at the burial of his sister. Said, "Dear God, I can't read or write, but I want to preach your Bible in memory of my sister for the rest of my days." Gypsy Simon Smith, his family laughed at him, his relatives laughed at him, friends laughed at him. If you can't read or write, he said, "I'm going to Bible college," and he did. Graduated from the Bible college. On the banks of the Mississippi River, way north, where it first began, we had a huge God Save America in 3 tiers of the building. Guess who had been in that building and packed it out before we were there? Gypsy Simon Smith. They said Gypsy Simon Smith would preach all over Canada, all over America, in memory of his sister. He would sing, he would love to sing. But the reason he preached till his last breath was because he took a challenge one day at a funeral of his sister. I want to ask you a question tonight. Will it take someone in your family to pass on into glory before you get the challenge? What are you waiting for? What is it that you want in life? What more matters than Christ? What is it that you and I want to do more than love God? What is it? You name what that is. You lay it at this altar tonight. You tell God, "Here it is, Lord." Because this is what keeps me from serving you. I want the teenagers to stand. We're beginning our invitation, so I want all of your attention. I just want the teenagers to stand. I have always been impressed with your youth department. As a matter of fact, I think the credit goes to your young people for the growth of your church. It's just my opinion. I'm just an outsider looking in. But these 2 people right here have put hours and hours and hours into the young people. And he's trained a generation to serve the Lord. When those old moss-back Baptists won't do it, these young people will sell out.
Amen.
But I want you adults to bow your heads, and I want you to pray for these young people right now. Pray the will of God for these young people. Teenagers, I want you to look at them. How many of you teenagers tonight would say there's been a time in my life where I've surrendered for the will of God for full-time service? Church knows it. I've made it public at church. My pastor knows it. My parents know it. I've surrendered my life for full-time service for Christ. You say, what is full-time service? It means to do whatever God wants you to do at the time He asks you to do it. Some of you might be full-time ministerial service, maybe a pastor, or a missionary, or evangelist, or a married one. How many tonight would say, Brother Taylor, I'm a teenager, but I walked an aisle and made it public. I've surrendered my life for the rest of it for full-time service for Christ. Can I see your hand? I want you to come stand with Brother Taylor. Just come on the platform. I know I love you, but I'm all you got tonight. Come stand up. If you have made it public, that you want to serve the Lord till you die, in full-time service for Christ. I want the rest of you young people out there to look up here. I want you young people up here to bow your heads and pray for me. Young people, read that sign above my head. What does it say? God save America. The only way we're going to save America is get another generation to do it. We have to have you. You're all our tomorrows. You're our Sunday school teachers. You're our choir members. You're our church members. You're our preachers. Without you, we're just hitting and missing. You got all your time ahead of you. You're not married yet. You haven't been trained in the Bible yet. And if we could get you to do that, marry right, study right, give the rest of your life for God's cause before anybody else gets a hold of it, before the devil has time to ruin you and destroy you, we may have a chance in this country. If tonight you'll surrender like these, they're not any better than you. They've just gone one step further. They've said more than just saying at an altar on Sunday night, dear God, forgive me of all my sin in Jesus' name. They said, Lord, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I'm going to serve you in some capacity. I don't care if it's in Africa. I don't care if it's in Germany. I don't care if it's in England. I don't care where it's at. I'm going to serve God. That's where I know how. America. I'm going to train right. I'm going to serve. Surrender my life for 400. If you'll do that tonight, I want you to come forward. You can do that. Walk forward tonight. So I'm surrendering for full-time service. Would you do that right? There's one. For your country. Just find a place at the altar if you would. Is there another? Is there another? Another? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just find a place to kneel. Anywhere else? There's some more. It's for your country. It's for God to save America. Yes. Anybody else? Another? Another? Anybody else? Anybody else? Those of you that are left standing, just bow your head. Don't ask you a question. Brother Taylor, I'll pray about it. Can I get you to pray about it? Just lift your hand if you'll pray about it. All right? All the rest of it. Now that our heads are bowed, I want you that are standing up here to find somebody that's kneeling down there. Pray with them like the day you surrender. Have them tonight. Say those prayers. Have prayers. And surrender their life for the rest of you. Still that. Several of them. Get beside them and pray. Let's all stand, every one of us tonight. Here's what I want us to do. I want us to pray for God to save America. This is not just a conference, it is a call. We're here to mobilize. We're here to be militant. We're here to get the job done. We're here to say, Lord, here am I, send me. We're here to volunteer. I see Brother Preacher all the way from upstate Pennsylvania. God bless you, my brother. Amen. Why are people here? Because they believe in the call. They believe in the call. Why is your church so fired up? Because you believe there's still hope for this country. The music's going to play. I want you to find your place to kneel. If you can't come forward and kneel, then make where you're sitting a place of an altar and ask God to help save America tonight. And that'll be the end of our service. That's right. Is America worth it? We'll find out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be your prayer life. It'll be your sacrifice. It'll be your finances. It'll be your time. It'll be your talent. Who knoweth that thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Maybe this little sphere, this little world that you have, you can reach it for Christ. Maybe God will use you. There are people in this church tonight that you reached. I didn't reach. That God helped you to reach. God did that. And He promises in His Word, if you'll just open your mouth, He'll fill it. He'll let you reach someone. He'll help you help someone. He'll help you make a difference in somebody's life. Something that will make a difference. Pray this prayer tonight in your heart. Dear God, give us a new generation of old-fashioned fundamentalism. Not compromising. Not people that mix failure with faith. But determined Christians. On fire. Biblical Christians. Somebody that will say, Lord, this is the rest of my life. Hey, you young people that are surrendered tonight, I want you to find your slip of paper and write it down. Write your name down. Get it to the pastor tonight so he can pray for you. You folks that are praying with them, help them get a piece of paper. Help them sign their name before full-time service tonight. That's right.